Hey guys, I'm all back again. Welcome to my 9 weeks review of the Galaxy S23. If you're new here, I make daily videos on the Galaxy S23 so you can see how I use my phone every single day and the impact that it has on battery life. Some days I rarely use my phone since I'm just working from home. Other days I play a lot of games. Some days I go on vacation. So every day is different, but at the end of the week, I like to do a weekly summary just so you guys can see how this phone aged over time. When you first get the phone on day 1, it's going to be a different experience on day 60. So I like to go in depth and cover every aspect of this phone. Every day I cover a different topic. Hopefully you guys find that to be helpful. Make sure to check out my daily vlog series after this video if you haven't already. But without wasting any more time, let's jump into week 9 with the Galaxy S23. In terms of size, you're getting about the same size as the Google Pixel 6a. It comes in at 6.1 inches. It's probably one of the biggest selling point of this phone. If you like a compact phone, don't like to hold the big Galaxy Notes, you want something that's easy to slip in and out of your pocket, easy to hold with one hand, text with one hand, this is the perfect phone for you. And even though it is small, it has the same chip as the Galaxy S23 Ultra. So small yet powerful phone. And it has one of the best cameras that smartphones has to offer, minus the close-up photos. You taking pictures of landscape or recording videos is fine. Doing recording sceneries, whether you're using the ultra wide angle, the regular angle, or the 3x zoom, it does have a lot of flexibility. Or you're just creating vlogs video like me. Currently I'm recording on portrait mode, which is my personal favorite, the video portrait mode. It just got the nice effect. You get the focus on the subject and the background is blurry. It works for me. And the S23 has an awesome mic as well. Currently with my setup, I have my phone about 2 feet away from me. I don't need to scream at the phone to get good audio quality, so I can just talk normally. I have a pretty soft-spoken voice, so I don't like screaming, and it works for me. Kind of funny, in some of my other videos, I actually try using like a lav mic or an exterior mic. People always complain about the audio quality of that. But when I use the S23, I don't hear any complaints, so you guys let me know how the audio sounds like on your end. But one of the biggest flaws of this phone remain the close-up photos. It's a hardware issue, but Samsung haven't really acknowledged it yet, which is pretty annoying. But if you do have the S23, please let me know if you're experiencing the same issue. If you take close-up photos, you notice that the edges are blurry. I personally experienced it on almost every single shot. I know not every single Samsung S23 is experiencing this. It just impacts certain areas of the world. But this is one of the biggest flaws of this phone. You can take other photos just fine, but close-up photos, you're not gonna be happy. And in terms of display, you're getting a 1080p Full HD display, which is fine for this form factor. You don't really need Quad HD in a small screen phone. It is an overkill, and it's gonna kill the battery even more for the very minimal differences. $800 list price for Galaxy S23, but today you can get it for $700. 13% off there. Make sure to use my link in the description below if you guys are interested in purchasing the S23. Galaxy phones and Android phone always go on sale in general, so if you're patient, just wait for it and it will come. And remember that whenever you select an Android phone over an Apple phone, Apple always tends to support their phone longer and their resale value is higher. So you plan to keep the S23 for 4 to 5 years, it is fine. But you switch your phone often, you like to sell your phones, just remember that Samsung phone and Android phones don't really hold their value that well. Even though you buy it at $700, when you sell it a year later, you might only get a few $100 for it. And that tends to be a common trend. For color choices with the S23, you are looking at black, cream, green, and lavender. So nothing too exciting. The lavender caught my attention because it is colorful and poppy, so I went for that instead. I don't really like the basic black colors, but that is my own personal preference. So long gone are the days of all the colorful rainbow fingerprint prone back like the Galaxy S20 and the Galaxy Note 10. Those always look nice until you actually hold the phone and touch it. It gets very smudgy. Now it's just very mature, clean, professional look that does not leave any fingerprint, which I do like. I don't mind the colorful colors, but at the same time I prefer to not have a phone that leaves a lot of fingerprints since I generally do not use cases on my phones. Some of the other flaws with the Samsung phones in general is they do come with bloatwares. They have random apps that you cannot control or uninstall. To be honest, a chip is so powerful and you have plenty of storage on your phone, you won't even notice it. I have so many apps on my phone, I don't even know what's on there and what's not. So you are OCD and want to have minimum apps, it's going to bother you, but you don't really think about it. they're just sitting there in the background somewhere. It's not like every day I'm scrolling through all my apps individually trying to figure out which one I use, which one I don't. So Samsung phone is always going to have bloatware. Apple have bloatware as well. People always talk about how Apple is very minimal, but when I use their phone, they have random books app or whatever. There's always some junk in there that Apple preload and I never use and cannot remove. So I always wonder why people make such a big deal about bloatwares on Android phone, but Apple have some of their bloatwares as well. And if you prefer a more clean experience, then go with the Pixel series. They don't have all the Samsung Internet, Samsung Health and all that. I personally do enjoy some of the Samsung app. I do use Samsung Health to exercise, remind me to drink water, just keep track on my workouts. Every now and then if I remember, I will log my food. So just be aware of that. There are some bloatwares on any phone, I guess. And if you already have the Galaxy S22, the biggest difference you're going to see is the battery life improvement. When I was using the S22 last year, I was getting 8 to 9 hours of battery life. Compared to the S23, I get 12 to 13 hours, which is about 30% better. The biggest improvement you're really going to see is just the standby time. So last year when I was barely using the S22, it was just drained really fast regardless. But this time around when I barely use my phone, it can last me a full day. So it depends on your mileage and how you use your phone. But if you already have the S22, you probably do not need to upgrade. You don't mind charging your phone every 9 hours. But if you absolutely cannot stand it and you want a Samsung phone, just for the battery life improvement alone, then I would recommend that for the S23. The other big difference you're going to see in terms of design is they got rid of that camera module array. So now you're just getting a flat look with just the 3 lenses. There's no bar around it, which is fine. I always thought the bar looked cool, but when I was using the S22 without a case, it's very sharp. And I remember my thumb would always rub around the edges of the camera and feel like one of those days I could potentially cut myself, but they got rid of it. Now the whole S series from the S23, the Plus, the Ultra, they all have a unified look. So that's pretty much the biggest difference you're gonna see with the S23 and the S22. And if you guys have time, please take a moment to like and subscribe to my channel. These videos take a very long time to make, plan, and edit. And this pretty much concludes my week 9 with the Galaxy S23. Like I mentioned earlier, I've been making daily vlogs on this phone, so remember to check out those after this video is done. Every day I cover a different topic, and recently I finally got my May update as well, so I'll continue to cover this phone for another week or two until the Pixel 7a is ready. I'm likely going to switch over to that. I think I covered this phone more than enough and starting to run out of topics, but we'll continue to go strong all the way to the end. Overall, it is a great phone. You're looking for something small and compact. I use it for travel, brought it to Hawaii, shot lots of great videos and photos on this phone. I begin my day at 9 a.m. I come back at 7 or 8 p.m. Never really have any issues with battery. I drive around, use Android Auto, so it is getting little small charges here and there. And it always lasts me until I come back. I do bring a portable battery pack just in case, but I rarely ever need it. And when I'm at home, I just work from home with my current job. I sit at my desk, I have a wireless charger there. So I never really have to worry about battery life. In the early days of making these videos, I try not to use my wireless charger on purpose just to test out the full capacity of the battery performance. I can just easily put it on there. But at the end of the day, battery life wise, on average, like I mentioned earlier, I get 12 to 13 hours. And screen on time, 3 to 4 hours. That's because I don't spend 8 hours staring at my phone. It all depends how you use your phone. If you just have YouTube playing all day, it will last you 8 hours, and that is pretty much it. But you use it in spurts here and there. That's typically how it averages out for me. And if I barely use my phone, it will last me over a day. So every day is different, everyone's mileage is different. I know you guys have any question about this phone, but overall, the S23 is for people who like compact phones. It is the best that Samsung have to offer if you don't want to spend over $1,000. If you want to keep the phone for the long run, you get 4 years of software update, 5 years of security updates, which is more than Google. You're getting the best chip that Android has to offer in 2023, a great battery life for a small phone. The biggest flaws is still the banana shape issue. For close-up photos, you're going to notice some blurry edges. So you don't care about close-up photos, and this will be an excellent phone. But I'm going to continue to call that out so people will not be surprised when they buy it, such as taking pictures of receipts. Sometimes you do have to take pictures of text and things like that. So little things to consider. Alright guys, I hope you find this video to be helpful. Once again, remember to like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next video.